Ili kupata sikiza tune hii ya Bwana atamaliza nawe, bonyeza *811*962#.
Huenda ulianza pekeo, huenda ulipanga pekeo, huenda ulisafiri pekeo, huenda ulijenga pekeo. Usikubali tena kusonga peke yako. Zaburi 127:1 inasema, Bwana asipoujenga mji wa ujengao wanafanya kazi bure. Bwana asipoulinda mji wa ulindao.
Ili kupata sikiza tune hiyo ya Bwana atamaliza nawe, bonyeza *811*962#. *811*962#.
Log on to the KBC website at www.kbc.co.ke to get the latest breaking news, entertainment, sports, politics, lifestyle or business trends from Kenya and around the world. Never miss new episodes from your favorite TV shows, reruns and movies. Just stream online or watch live on your YouTube channel at KBC Channel 1 TV shows. For the day's biggest stories, trustworthy news and family entertainment, log on to KBC Channel 1. Watch what you want anytime, anywhere.
What is this place?
Your trusted source for inspiring, uplifting, faith and family entertainment. Films that inspire and captivate.
We're not giving up.
I have to believe that something good is gonna come out of this.
You find me the secret.
You're doing a great job.
Stories that celebrate life and family.
I saw it with my own eyes. He is not a god!
Movies that will surprise you.
Please don't do that.
Where's my project?
They know everything.
Films that uplift and bring people.
It's 30 days into the last month, the year 2021. It's just one day before we close the curtain on the year 2021. We do hope that wherever you're catching this broadcast from, you're having a wonderful holiday, as we're just about to update you on what has been happening in the country and beyond borders. On matters education, the Education CS, Professor George Magoha, is in Kisumu. Weekly for KH is on the ground for us. We'll also be telling you about calls by the Kenya National Union of Teachers over the remuneration of teachers. This all coming as parents are now cracking their heads concerning the upcoming opening of schools. We'll be giving you details about what happened in the education sector and in other areas in our comprehensive news bulletin that begins right now. All right, my name is Serfine Achieng. I'm standing in for Jacqueline Wambiru. Let's begin straight away from Embu. Eastern Regional Commissioner Isaiah Nakoru has called on residents to maintain peace as the country heads to the general elections next year. The RC said peace was a prerequisite for development and key to the country's stability, and called on residents not to allow politics to drive a wedge between them.
The regional boss was speaking from his office on Wednesday during a press briefing, warned those bent on breaching peace that security apparatus within the region was on high alert and will spare no effort in bringing those who disturb prevailing peace to book.
Mali tunaelekea mambo ya uchaguzi, tungetaka kuweka kila mmoja aelewe kwamba Kenya inahitaji amani, na wale ambao pengine wana nia ya kuvuruka wajue kwamba tuko macho, tumeweka mikakati ya kuhakikisha kwamba mambo yote yataenda sawa sawa.
Called on locals to continue observing COVID-19 containment measures to ensure there was no escalation of infections, especially with heightened political activities.
Ningetaka kuomba wananchi waweze kuweka yale masharti ambayo yamewekwa, wasingatie, wafae barakoa na kuhakikisha kwamba hatusambazi ugonjwa huu.
He raised concern with the low vaccination uptake in the region, with statistics indicating that only 13.7% of the target population of 4.2 million people have been vaccinated. Nakuru also called on parents to make use of the holiday break to cancel their children in a bid to curb cases of indiscipline witnessed in the recent past, especially in schools.
Naamini watoto wanaweza kuwa open na kueleza yale mambo yanao wanasumbua kwa shule, ili wazazi pia nao wawasiliane na walimu na walimu wakuu kuhusu jinsi ambavyo wanaweza kuendesha shule zao.
Of internally displaced persons in the 2007-2008 post-election violence has called for peaceful campaigns and elections, saying Kenyans should not go through the agony thousands faced during the chaos. The IDPs had converged at Ndumberi Stadium in Kiambu County for prayers, which they said acts as a reminder to Kenyans to desist from being used to cause violence in the upcoming general elections.
They gathered in their numbers at the Ndumberi Stadium to hold prayers for peace ahead of the next general elections.
Ikiwa ni ukumbusho wa vile hiyo violence ilitokea, kwa sababu ilitokea 29 na kwa hivyo na leo siku ya leo ni 29.
Although now integrated, the current high political temperatures evoke memories of the 2007-2008 post-election violence that rendered them displaced in their own country.
Wale watu ambao wamepewa makao aidha na majirani, mandugu, wale wanakaa Kiambu tunawaita integrated IPs wako 4,702.
Tulichomewa manyumba, tukakosa chochote, tukaibiwa. Hatukupata manyumba, mpaka sasa tunaenda na barabara. Kila siku hatuna mahali ya kuchuga, ni kwa center. Hatuna manyumba, hatuna nini. Kila chochote hatuna. Tunaenda tu tukihangaika.
Mimi nilikuwa mtu na alikuwa na duka, lakini mimi sasa mimi nakuwa mtu ya kuomba hata nguo kama hii nilipatiwa ni mtu mwingine akinisaidia.
14 years down the line, most still have a fear of political chaos, hence their focus on prayers for sobriety to reign in the electioneering period. They have also urged politicians to uphold democracy in their campaigns in order to ensure cohesion in the society.
Waache kuharibu Kenya. Kenya sio ya mtu mmoja, sio ya kabila moja, ni ya kila mtu.
Tufanye kitu kabla ile moto kuwaka, tunaenda tunatafuta njia za kuweka hiyo moto isiwake.
Though most are at peace now, they say some promises by the government to them have not been fulfilled.
Kama tunaweza tafutiwa mahali, sisi tumejiunga kwa vikundi tofauti na zimerejistiwa, tunaweza kupokea hiyo nafasi na tunaweza kuichukua kwa heshima sana.
Ni usaidizi kama mahali ya mtu anaweza kupatiwa mahali pa kuishi au mahali ya au kitu chochote ambao mtu anaweza kujisaidia.
The IDPs say they will be ambassadors of peace during and after the elections. Kamchemenza for Lunchtime News.
Moving on, the National Assembly on Wednesday failed to dispense with the contentious Political Parties Amendment Bill of 2021, despite calling for a second special sitting that stretched all the way to 2 a.m. During the heated sessions, the House, however, voted to include the inclusion of a slogan as grounds for registration of a political party and giving powers to the office of the registrar to either accept or decline registration of a political party. Gladys Mungai with that report.
The Office of the Registrar of Political Parties will now have more powers to either accept or decline registration of political parties and usage of party slogans after Parliament approved Clause 7 in the contentious Political Parties Amendment Bill 2021.
In the absence of, Mr. Speaker, in the absence of a definition of what a doctrine means, in the absence of a definition of what of ideals of a party means, this clause is subject to abuse and can be used by the registrar to deny the people of Kenya and to deny the rights given under Article 38 of the Constitution on political rights, and this negates the principle and the spirit provided for multipartyism in the Constitution.
We are trying to create political parties that have a certain ideology, that have a certain direction, and for us to be taken back to the dark days when parties sprang up without any ideology except some sloganeering in the public rallies is what we want, those sloganeering to be put within the ideology of the political party so that people can know whether to relate with the party or not. I beg to oppose and ask the House to oppose this amendment.
Speaker, a party, anyone wishing to form a party in this country must be clear on the ideologies and principles of that party. That is a problem that we have been having, where people form briefcase parties without even thinking what they stand for. And I want to oppose and ask all honorable members that this is something we must all defeat.
In the special sitting that was largely marred by drama,
what is happening is that there is a scheme to scuttle this bill.
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Chair, I've done it before, but in the meantime,
order members.
155 members of parliament against 127 also voted to approve Clause 7 of the Political Parties Amendment Bill 2021 that seeks to establish coalition political party.
It seeks to create coalition political party which does not exist. The word coalition political party, Chair, does not exist within the Constitution.
The House also approved Clause 5 of the bill that requires statements of ideologies for the formation of political parties, and Clause 3 barring parties from using rivals' political parties' dominant color.
That Clause 5, just hold your horses, that Clause 5 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Duale. Will as members of that opinion say aye? Will as members of a contrary opinion say nay? The nays have it.
Parties are identified by colors. If a dominant party, if we look at party like ODM, ODM is identified by orange. Jubilee is identified by red. Wiper is identified by white, and so on and so forth. If we leave dominant color, there is a likelihood that people will take up other parties' colors later on, and we can have confusion. Madam Speaker, we want to identify a congregation by colors. Any meeting that we shall have out there, or when the members of our party are meeting, they need to be identified by color. And that is why I'm proposing that we add dominant color as one of the what is supposed to be launched with the registrar of political parties.
The House that was later adjourned past midnight is likely to be recalled again to consider the remaining clauses of the bill aimed at having far-reaching reforms on the 2022 political landscape ahead of the 2022 general elections. For Lunchtime News, I'm Gladys Mungai.
All right, and we'll stay with that story for you. It's still pending. We will be giving you details about how it develops in the coming days. Now, moving on, Kenya National Union of Teachers Secretary General Collins Oyu has called upon the government to open discussions on teachers' remuneration packages. He said that the national government has withdrawn the clause suspending any discussions on salary increment for 2 years now, and insisted that the time for such talks had come.
The NAT Secretary General Collins Oyu, who spoke on the third day of the 17th annual Kenya Primary School Head Teachers Association Delegates Conference held in Nyali constituency, Mombasa County, applauded the legislators for moving fast to act in support of the union to accept to withdraw the clause that barred talks on teachers' salary increment.
And I want to thank parliamentarians for moving forward very fast and to the point of withdrawing the guidelines for 2 years.
He said they are demanding for the opening of discussion on teachers' salary hike before next year's poll, adding that it's the right of the union to negotiate for better pay for its members.
This is the right of every worker.
This is the right of every other trade union to negotiate. And we are out here to call upon the employer through the government of this country that we sit back and start negotiations once more, focusing on the increment of our salaries.
He noted NAT had adopted an accommodative approach in dealing with the government, hence the need for Teachers' Salary Commission to reciprocate the gesture.
We've been very lenient, very understanding. We have followed the guidelines of the SRC to the letter, without making any noise when there was that freeze. But this one should not subject our teachers to be beggars in this republic. We are equal citizens with the rest in equal measures.
For Lunchtime News, I am Emma Machoka.
All right, and that report there takes us to our first break on Lunchtime News. Do stay with us. We are coming back in just a bit.
The KBC Board of Directors, Management and Staff wishes all our esteemed listeners, viewers and clients Happy New Year and a prosperous 2022. We wish you peace, joy and prosperity throughout the coming year. Thank you for your continued support and partnership.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Now, a section of parents from Ngomeni Secondary School has dismissed claims that the school is being mismanaged by the principal, Twaha Mwatsahu. The parents allied to the school principal claim Achieng, who is sponsoring over 300 students at the school, is the cause of the school wrangles, which they say is uncalled for, insisting that the institution was doing well under the principal's leadership.
Trouble began last week when another group of parents went to raise complaints at the Kilifi County Commissioner's office demanding the immediate transfer of the principal for allegedly mismanaging the institution.
Nataka kujua pesa zinavyotumika huoneshwi, nataka kujua rekodi za shule huoneshwi. Imekuwa ni shida kubwa sana pale shule. Na mhusika mkuu ambaye ni principal ukimfuata, yeye anachukulia hii shule kama shule yake, ni shule anafanya mambo peke yake. Hausishi kamati ya PA.
They later called a press conference where they claimed Twaha was appointed by a committee without engaging all parents, a move that has been termed as dishonest by the Parents Association Chair Ahmed Farouk.
Na sisi kama jamii, sisi kama wenye mji, kama wazazi wa hii shule, tunaweza kusema kwamba Mr. Twaha abaki hapa hapa.
A pro-Twaha faction of parents have further called for amicable resolution of issues facing the school.
Lakini mwenyenye anataka yale ambayo anayataka yeye. Hataki management ya shule iende vile inavyotaka.
Speaking at the school, Farouk said when the principal was posted in Ngomeni, the school had only 90 students, but due to his efforts, the number has risen to over 650, adding that there has been a tremendous development of infrastructure.
Twaha na mtu binafsi, si Twaha na wazazi. Twaha na mtu binafsi. Sasa wamalize matatizo yao nje ya hii shule.
lakini shule watu achie vile vile ilivyo.
Performance has also moved up from a mean score of 2.52% in 2017 to 3.18 in 2020.
All right, it's time for us now to cross over into the world of business. We begin with news that will not make you very happy. The price of maize flour is set to go up as the National Cereals and Produce Board increases maize prices to 3,000 shillings per 90 kilogram bag. This is an increase of 300 shillings from the previous price of 2,700 shillings in the second price review this month. The increase in the cost of maize forms 80% of the total cost that is involved in the production of flour, which is already trading at a high of over 100 shillings for a 2 kilogram packet.
The latest price review comes as millers raise concern over the high cost of maize in the market amid shortage of supply, as farmers are not releasing the stocks in anticipation of good prices in the coming months. Going forward, NCPB will now pay 3,000 shillings for a 90 kilo bag from 2,700 shillings as the state corporation moves to attract more stocks in the wake of stiff competition from traders and millers. However, the increase in the cost of maize will add pressure on the price of flour, as this will see millers and traders increase the cost at which they are buying the produce from farmers in order to get sufficient stocks from the growers. The cost of maize forms 80% of the total cost involved in production of flour. Currently, a 2 kg packet of flour is retailing at over 100 shillings. NCPB Managing Director Joseph Kemota says the board initially planned to buy 500,000 bags of 50 kgs of maize, but will now review the purchase at depots in major producing areas. The board has not imposed any administrative conditions for one to deliver maize as long as the produce meets KEB's Grade 1 and Grade 2 standards. Regina Manyara reporting for Lunchtime News.
All right, we now want to cross over to other issues that are also shaping news in the country. Our reporter Alan Aoko has been following up for us changes that are currently being implemented at the Kenya Revenue Authority. He is now joining us live to give us an update of what are these changes all about. What is new, Alan? If you can hear me, a very good afternoon. What can you tell us?
Serfine, I'm not sure if you caught the message by the Kenya Revenue Authority on social media on Wednesday, where they were asking Kenyans for opinions regarding a change of name from Kenya Revenue Authority to Kenya Revenue Services. It elicited a lot of reactions online, and we were curious to find out, what do Kenyans actually feel on the ground? Will the change of name translate to a change of service? Remember, Kenya Revenue Authority has been on this journey of trying to rebrand itself in order to, customize itself into a relatable customer service entity with the people, so that it even boosts its revenue collection with the relationship it has with the people. This journey started about 6 months ago, and is something that is supposed to continue up to June next year. And perhaps what will also be included in this change of names is perhaps the corporate colors, to reflect something which the Kenya Revenue Authority says is a good image to the public. And joining me is a Kenyan as well, just to hear his thoughts and tell us what he feels about the change of name. Labda uanze na majina na utuelezee, unaonaje KRA ikigeuza ikuwe Kenya Revenue Services?
Kwa majina ni Albert. Mimi naona authority, kwanza the word authority inaogopesha. authority. Ikuwa service maybe tunafikiria maybe ni mzuri juu watu kama sisi huko KRA huko Times Tower tunaogopa. Sababu ukisikia authority tunaona na ukienda ushikwe. Lakini service tunaona maybe inaweza kuwa poa.
Na ni nini ingine labda unaona ikibadilishwa, sio jina peke yake, ni nini ingine unaona wanaweza badilisha ili Wakenya waone kweli imebadilika?
Kwanza huko watu wa KRA huku mtaani inafaa washuke waangalie sisi juu kweli hatujui hata watu wengi, mimi nafikiri mimi niko mmoja wao, hatujui ati as in kulipa hiyo KRA ni nini.
All right, Alan Aoko there interacting with Kenyans concerning the proposed changes of the Kenya Revenue Authority as it seeks to rebrand. We will be getting more details about this as well. Kenyans there expressing their sentiments concerning the shift from the word authority to services as part of the rebranding by the Kenya Revenue Authority. Now, the county government of Kisii has launched a 3-ton capacity cold storage facility for fish farmers in the county to control wastage and encourage value addition of the trade. The County Agriculture Executive Esman Oserigo says the project, which will benefit over 2,000 farmers, will meet the growing demand of the commodity in the county and its environs.
Kenya plans to boost fish consumption from the current 4.5 kg per capita per year to 10 kgs per capita per year by 2030, a number that might not be achieved considering the production rate in the country. To remedy this, the government has launched various programs to increase local production and reduce the importation of the highly sought commodity. Kisii County officials say the strategic position will make it easier for fish farmers to access the premises all the while conducting sales within the market. The county government says they will partner with major fish suppliers in the county to encourage more fish farming, providing an outlet for excess output. The county has assured farmers of a market in answer to fears of excess production.
So they will not waste any more time. They will not waste any more transport to transport their fish. And even the transportation they used to do was quite unsafe, was making that fish not to be safe for human consumption.
Kisii County currently has 2,000 fish farmers and aims to have more than 5,000 by the end of 2022 to complement the diminishing land use for crop production.
For the farmers, we are guaranteeing that we are going to give you a market for your fish. So just farm your fish, we are going to buy your fish. For the traders, with the cold room here, we are saying that we are going to avail fish for you to buy. So as much fish as you want will be available for you here.
Na samaki nayo ni kitu delicate, kama uwezi handle vizuri, iko na food poisoning. Lazima ikuwe pali safi, ndio mwenye pia unampatia upatie kitu mzuri.
Traders and fish farmers expressed their gratitude for the launch of the cold storage facility, saying it will reduce transportation cost of fish from farmers and offer them maximum profits. Reporting for Lunchtime News, my name is Ibak Saeed.
All right, now on to Matter Sports. Manchester United's interim head coach Ralph Rangnick said COVID-19 disruptions have impacted his progress since taking over the club as they take on Burnley tonight at Old Trafford. Meanwhile, Manchester City beat Brentford 1-0 to extend their lead at the top of the Premier League table to take them 8 points clear at title rivals Chelsea. As title rivals Chelsea conceded late on as Brighton held on for a 1-1 draw.
A couple of things to be concerned about, and VAR confirms he's onside. Happy coming